Lexxie. I'm in the US.
And I'm James, and I'm in the UK. One of the more popular cakes over here is lemon drizzle cake. It's a very simple sponge cake, and it's got a sweet lemon syrup which has been drizzled over and through the cake while it's still warm, with crystallised sugar on top. It's usually made in either a loaf pan or a bundt pan, and it can sometimes be made in a standard cake tin. It's often served as part of a high tea, and is a nice dessert. I really do like lemon drizzle cake. I've never made one myself. I've never really had the time. But I want to see how Lexxie does.
Off to the kitchen I go.
So this is a pretty easy recipe. There's not too many ingredients. First thing you need is 2 sticks of butter. That's about 225 grams. And 1 1/8 cup of sugar, which again is 225 grams. Start creaming those together thoroughly. And then you add 4 eggs, one at a time, mixing in between. You may find you may need to scrape down the sides of the bowl. Seriously, how do you do that with the eggs? Next, you're going to add the zest of a lemon and 1 3/4 cups of self-raising flour. That's about 225 grams. After you've done that, it goes into an oven at 355 degrees Fahrenheit or 180 degrees centigrade for 45 to 50 minutes. If, like Lexxie, you're using a metal pan instead of a silicone one, then make sure you line it with grease-proof paper so at least you can get the cake out afterwards and it doesn't stick to the sides. Whilst the cake is cooling, you need to mix another 85 grams of sugar, that's 3/8 of a cup, with the juice of 2 lemons, and make sure you get all the seeds out and the sugar is dissolved. Poke the warm cake all over with a skewer or a small fork, and then simply drizzle with a teaspoon the lemon syrup over the cake until it all soaks in. Let the cake cool before eating, which will be hard. Wow, I think that turned out pretty good.
I hope this tastes as good as it looks. I want to make sure I get a bite with the sugar on top. Mmm. I wish I'd brought a drink. It's really good, really buttery, much more buttery than I would have thought. Though I should have thought that because there's 2 sticks of butter in it. I like the sugar on top, and I like the tartness from the lemon juice. I've never had a lemon cake that was tart before. I don't think I've had a cake that had a drizzle on it of any kind before. It's really moist. I can see why you would eat this at tea time because you kind of really need a liquid with it. And try a bit out of the bottom that didn't get so much of the drizzle. I think most of the flavor is carried from the drizzle. It would probably benefit from having the zest of that second lemon added in. Now, one thing I am going to say about this, if any of you try to make this at home, because you pour the sugar on when it's still in the pan, it is a pain in the rear end to get out of the pan, which I guess isn't so much of a big deal if you're using a metal tin. You could use the parchment paper to lift it, or you could just cut it in the tin. Using silicone like I did, you don't want to use a knife inside of that or you'll just destroy it. So if you're going to use silicone, you may want to put it on a plate before you pour the drizzle on and just accept the fact you're going to have a fair bit of mess. Let's see, what would I rate this? I think I'm going to give this a 7. I don't know if it's going to make it into the regular rotation of cakes that I make. There's just things I like better, but I'm not going to turn it down if somebody puts it in front of me.
I'm glad you liked it, Lexxie. Like I've said, it's one of my favourites, and who knows, one day we could have tea and cake together.
Well, that's all for this time. If you liked the video, please give us a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more videos.
And we'll see you next time on Big Spoon, Little Spoon.